All right. Good day, family. God bless you. It's the time you've been waiting for. Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard, your resource and information show for people getting better with age. Well, we are coming off a phenomenal show from last week with the president of our guest today, none other than the Insurance Exchange, the place for all your insurance needs. We were with the president himself, Mr. Thomas Crosby Sr. Woo, let me tell you, it was high impact and we're getting great responses. But let me do myself a favor now. If you want more information on this program, our guest today is none other than the Insurance Exchange, the place for all your insurance needs. Their website is scrolling at the bottom, and their phone number for our tuning in listening audience is 708-597-8731. Well, we are here on this another day, and I had to take a deep breath and inhale and exhale because we know that we are in the season where gun violence and just the unfortunate passing of children through the gun violence has just taken over our community. It's unfortunate that we sometimes inhale it as if it's a normal, and it should not be a norm. Mm-hmm. So today, joining me is none other than my sister friends, the Honorable Kelly Crosby. Woo! And hello. Carolyn Barnes. Let me tell you, these two ladies are, I call them the multi-level experts of insurance through the Insurance Exchange. And let me tell you, I just had to bring two women that could be impactful to share what we're talking about today. Today, our special topic is on the gift of love, the gift of life. And so we want to bring you to the stage, ladies. Just introduce yourselves to our viewing and listening audience. How are you today?
We're great. I'm great. I'm Carolyn Barnes. I've been with the Insurance Exchange since 2009. So my entire insurance career has been with the Insurance Exchange. We have a plethora of products here for clients or customers who need and whatever their insurance needs are.
So 2009. So give us, what is your, I would say, of course, you're an expert in multiple. What is your most engaging policy that clients refer to you for?
I would say the majority of the policies I do would be personal lines because I am a real estate broker as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm in touch with those type of people who needs those types of homeowners and auto policies all of the time. So it would be personal lines, and then life insurance would be next.
Absolutely. And then we have Kelly Crosby. If you have watched or heard the commercials and videos, you hear her see her beautiful face and her phenomenal voice. Hi, I'm Kelly Crosby of the Insurance Exchange. I'm just joking, just messing with you. But let me say this, Kelly, welcome. So let's talk about I was talking to your father, and he mentioned about the legacy plan that's already in place for the Crosby family. Even granddaughter has been in the business. I mean, everybody's getting some of this, let me say. Mm-hmm. And it's a good thing, and it's a good visual for our community. So tell us about when you joined the Insurance Exchange. I mean, they've been around for 50 years, let's be clear. Mm-hmm. But tell us about your introduction and what made you say, I want to take my professional career and be a part of this dynamic that my father has created.
Well, I'm going to be honest. Originally, I was a banker. I was in banking. I did mortgages. I was a teller supervisor. I worked all over the bank. I really enjoyed it. It was a check that was steady. Mm-hmm. So, I had two young kids, so it always worked out. But then as I grew and, got older and learned that it was hard for me to excel in the banking industry for some reason. I don't know what it was. I tried to go downtown. I tried to stay out here. It was just really hard for me to really excel like I wanted to. And then, so I talked to my dad, and he said, hey, get your license. You can make any amount of money that you want. You don't have to be set to what they are paying you. You know, you
Right.
make your own money. So I was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I joined the team. You know, I started off just as a receptionist. Then I got my license, and then I started selling. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's going.
Yes.
So you know, that's what got me going with it. And you know, it had some drawbacks, and I was like, I don't know, but
Mhm.
you know, after I kept going, you know, and my family was involved because my brother came over first.
Okay.
My younger sister and my older sister, I think they all came before me.
Right.
But, you know, and they're still part of it. It is a family thing. But it took a while for me to really get into it, but I'm glad I stuck with it. I've been in this industry for over 20 years now.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah, it feels like forever, you know, because my dad, you know, has been doing it for so long. It's kind of like in the DNA. So, you know, I really had you know, it was a process in getting into it. But once I got into it, it was good for me. So, like I said, 20 years in the game, just educating and helping people save money and, you know, that's
Protect their
and protect
families.
their families and their assets. So, and another thing that I do kind of for my own time is I'm a licensed FAA drone operator. So it comes in handy with selling insurance when you're doing
Mhm.
homes. You can fly a drone over their house and, you know, take a photo over their roof or, you know, stuff like that. So it helps out.
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited because this topic that we're talking about, as we were in our virtual green room, I asked, were you both mothers? And you both responded yes. And so we're putting on a new campaign, and it's something that we would not want to press so hard, but it has to happen.
Mm.
And that is protecting our loved ones and our children specifically. We're going to mention that policy. It's called the gift of love or the gift of life policy.
Right.
So let's talk about this. I was reading and I almost didn't know how to respond that since August of 2025, there have been 29 deaths on school campuses nationwide.
Wow.
And you know, as we have in that commercial, when we talk about, you know, your child goes to school and you would presume they would come home, but sometimes, unfortunately, that does not happen.
Mm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, you both ladies, having know about this policy in depth, could you share just how you would relay this, being a mother to another family, getting them to see the benefit of this policy? Because I tell people it's from 0, I think 15 days up to 17, but there's a beautiful part that can happen after 17. You know, we don't want to presume it's a death policy. That's what we try to get over the people. We try to clear that narrative. We're getting over the presumption of death at a young age, but the security factor that would put that child in place, and even the family. So if either one of you can lead off, it's okay.
Yeah, so the policy is called the gift of life, and like you said, we need to get over the death factor in it because insurance is for the living as well.
Mm-hmm.
It does build cash value, and it's a very inexpensive way to have that protection for your children in the event that something were to happen.
Yes.
And the great thing about it is once the child turns 25, it automatically goes and it increases without any requirement for health screening or any additional underwriting. So if that child were to develop any kind of illnesses or anything, they could get additional insurance without worrying, because a lot of times, depending on what goes on, you may not be able to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great feature. It's very inexpensive, as low as $10 a month. It has a waiver of premium included in it if the person is disabled. So there's a lot of things in it to help to protect your family, because if things do happen and then you have to depend on family members or GoFundMe to cover expenses, and GoFundMe is not insurance.
It is.
And we have to get away from that.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And let me say this. $120, as you mentioned, is only $10 a month.
$10 a month.
A pair of gym shoes.
Not even. I went out to eat 2 people.
Mhm.
We close to 120 without beverages. I mean, let's be clear.
Mhm.
So if we can think of the value of the dollar amount, this is untapped, and we need every listening and viewing audience to remember to please. I'm just going to get a number out consistently. It is 708-597-8731. Tell them you heard it on Senior Talk and you want to talk to Carolyn or to Kelly. And to get someone, you want to give a gift of love or life for your loved one, your child.
Definitely.
Give us the age range. I know is it 15 days to 17? I may be off, but help me clear that
It's
up.
from as young as 15 days old until 17 to get the policy started. The policy automatically increases at age 25.
Wow. So you mean to tell me they can continue this policy
For the rest of their life.
How about that? So I'm in school and I'm going to college, so I can still have this policy while I'm in college with my lifestyle, and more importantly, I can afford it on my
Right.
own. How about that? That's a no-brainer. So Kelly,
Yes.
you've sold a policy to many people.
Mhm.
Have you had the experience of this policy being a benefit to the family and them saying, I'm glad we had it in place?
Well, I'm going to be honest. I have not delivered any checks.
Okay.
I'm thankful for that right now.
Right.
Do that, but I know that it's a good thing eventually. But right now, I have not delivered any checks. But I have had people who've had some scares, and they came back and they said, "Hey, is there any way I can increase my coverage?" So we were able to talk to the underwriters and find out, ways of trying to increase their coverage because, at my age, a lot of people are dealing with a lot of health issues. And due to the fact that one of this particular client had coverage when he was a little bit younger, maybe not many years ago, but he did have some coverage and he ended up having some issues, and it scared him to the point where he didn't know, he wanted to make sure that everything was in order.
Yes.
And he gave me that call and I said, hey, yeah, you've got this amount, everything is okay. Its whole life, it's still accumulating cash. So that was the only time that I can really say that I've had somebody say, I'm so glad I still have it, as opposed to I got it, then I let it go. And now I got sick and now I got to try to requalify for it. So that would be my scenario.
And the great thing about the gift of life, when you start this policy as a child, other than at age 25, there's other age breaks where the coverage can be increased as well. So as this person gets older, I think it goes up to like 40. They have different age increments where you can increase it without any kind of underwriting or medical exams. Wow. So in a situation like that, with this person, if he had this type of policy as a child and he's older now, he had a health scare, he could increase that at that age.
Wow. Without any other questions or any requalifications for it, they would, he would be able to because he was already insured with it.
Well, here's the deal. I guess what people need to hear from your statements is that he had it in place.
He had it in place. Exactly.
He had someone that could work with him and his current situation. There was a relationship already there.
Right.
So that he could get the proper knowledge that he needed to take care of himself. Woo, that's all right with me. So let's do this. Again, in my research, I was on the Gun Violence Archive. And as of today, October 1st, hear me clearly, children 0 to 11, we have reported over 176 that have been killed.
Wow.
374 injured. Teens 12 to 17, 766 killed as of October 1st.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's just too much.
So what do you tell someone? I mean, some people have all these myths about insurance. Oh, well, it's not for me. They gonna do it later on. What do you, with your expertise, each of you, how do you talk to that loved one or that family member to say, hey, now was the time? Just like the young man who came, you were your client, Kelly. He said, hey, I'm in place. Let me go talk to the person that knows about me to help me to do better in the future. So what is that in terms? How can we get people to really see the benefit? I mean, $110 a month.
Yeah. I mean,
That's more than coffee. That's less than coffee.
Yeah, less than coffee.
Less than coffee.
A combo meal at some of these places. So
yeah, very clear. Tell the truth. And so I would hope that people will hear and listen to us clearly that the value of your loved one, your children, is more valuable than the money you put out. The money you're spending, that $10 secures your child. Your child, maybe they may not go to a 4-year institution, but that's something that you can give them at graduation. Hey, we line this up for you. You ahead of the game. How about that?
Yeah,
that's a good scenario, in itself. So what would you ladies, how do you approach people to see the benefit? Because we're very hesitant. And we think it's too expensive. Come on now, $10. But anyway, I don't want to go there, but bring your expertise to what I'm asking of you.
Well, it's always a conversation. We're not trying to sell anyone in regards to it. It's just a conversation. We want to let them know, or basically remind them of the things that's going on. They're shooting people in churches. Yes. They've gone from the schools to the churches. It's just it's really ridiculous that the world has gone this way. That's the way I feel. But this gift of life policy, it is so inexpensive. It's so affordable. It starts right away, so you don't have to wait. If your baby 15 days old, you can get it started. If the mother doesn't want to get it, the grandmama, the grandparents can buy it for the child.
Yes, ma'am.
Like you said, it's $120 and they're giving you $15,000 in coverage if something should happen to your child. And if something doesn't happen, it grows, it can increase. So, and it's so easy for them to continue to be insured because they did it as a young child. But I also like the Value Certain 20. That's another policy here. But we're really pushing that gift of life. But that Value Certain 20, that's a whole life policy that, as I say, I've gotten that for my grandkids. I have 4 grandkids, and they all have a gift of life. Basically, it's I'm sorry, not a gift of life. I do apologize. They have the Value Certain 20, whereas I have to pay for it for 20 years. And then after that, I'm done. I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's paid up.
Really?
So that's another good product. We have a lot of products out here that we can help, not just the children. We can help people our age, older, younger. There's a product out there for everyone.
And guess what? We're going to show you the family. Everyone stay tuned. Here's a quick commercial from the Insurance Exchange.
Buying insurance should be easy. Home, auto, life, health, even business insurance. You can get it all and more at the Insurance Exchange. We work with top-rated insurance companies to get you the best rate and coverage. Come join our family. We're local, family-owned, and as active members in the community with over 40 years in the business, we understand the needs of our customers. Visit us online at insxchg.com. We'll get you covered.
Aha! Now we took care of all of it, so doing everything. So let me ask you this, Kelly. The Certain Value 20, how does one... I like the term itself. So after 20 years of this policy, it's already done?
It's done. It's a whole life policy. So it does accumulate cash. My plan is to, once my grandkids are 18 or 20, once they're done, I plan on getting the cash value out, and whatever they're working towards is positive. I want them to have that portion of it. You'll still have, a benefit left, but my goal was to have something to give to them once they hit adulthood, so that they could start on a new life and help them, in future. Just, generational wealth. Sometimes.
Yes.
And that's a good way to show how life insurance can be used for the living.
Mhm.
In our community, we think of it as for death only.
Right.
But in this case, if she has a grandchild that's going to college, or someone
Mhm.
wants to buy a home, then they
Car.
have this cash, a car, whatever it is. This cash can be used towards that and still have a benefit left in the policy.
Mhm.
Wow, that is serious business. So now, what is the starting age for this policy?
Starting age for the value 20.
For the value 20, I don't think there is an age limit. I think you can get it as soon as they're like at least 15 days old.
Right. And the thing why it's good for our children
Okay.
is because the younger you are,
The less
the
expensive.
less expensive it is. So,
Right.
because
And locking in
you're
is
20
right.
years instead of for your entire life.
Right. Wow. That is serious business. Well, I just want to really reiterate to those who are listening and tuning in, as the ladies have said, there is a commercial that I'm going to play. It's a visual commercial, but it's just the terms that you hear. Why not be into a position where we can bless our families
Mm-hmm.
and secure it at an early age? There should not be one listening and viewing audience member that is not calling the insurance exchange as soon as you hear this. 708-597-8731. Unfortunately, those who are listening, some of you may be experiencing this right now. You may be a pastor, you may be an activist, you may be just a church member or someone on the block and have heard the unfortunate passing of a child due to gun violence or anything else. We're not saying this is a gun violence policy. Let's be clear.
Right.
This is something that we're protecting your loved one for future benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And as we said, insurance is for the living. How about that?
It is for the
We
living.
can take these dynamics off all of what you heard, but let me tell you, I am entrusting my voice to the insurance exchange for what they said. 50 years in the business, no negotiations. And look, I even put the testimony up, and your father always looks at me like, why'd you do that, Claire? But when we were at the gala some years ago in 2019, and he said that he bought the building where he started.
Yes.
He did.
How about that? See what I'm talking about? Legacy in the building. In the building, as we say. But let me say this. I just want to play this last bit that I created. It's a visual, but it has the audio under, and it's your voice, Kelly, that we found about. It's going to say child protective. Give us some time, but it's about protecting your loved one. Everyone, stay tuned.
Let's see.
All righty.
If it doesn't. Okay. Oh, that's me. Sorry.
The gift of life insurance. Let's make sure our children are covered. For as little as $100 a year, we'll provide you with $15,000 in coverage. The gift of life is available for children and youth from 15 days old to 18. Call Thomas Crosby at the Insurance Exchange today at 708-597-8731 or visit insxchg.com to learn how to cover your children.
Awesome.
Boom. How about that?
That was really nice.
we put it all together. So we can only say that we're looking for partners. We can come out of our office. We can be on a Zoom. We can bring this information to wherever you sit and reside. I don't want to go to another senior stepper set if we not invited. Because most of you got grandkids or you're caring for your grandchildren. So that should be a no-brainer in itself.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned, for the ministries who are listening, you can call the Senior Talk office, but definitely call the Insurance Exchange 708-597-8731 and get this coverage immediately. Now, what we need to understand is that the value in itself is more beneficial than you could ever imagine. And as you're planning unfortunately, some of the services, families break up over minimal dollars, and we could be ahead of the game and say, hey, when this child graduates a junior or whomever, here's a gift for you.
Mm-hmm.
That you can take this beyond your time with us here at home. If, as I mentioned, going to college or just moving out, or, choosing a new career, who knows? But it's something that can be ahead of the game. And that's my prayer, is to just hit the streets on the ground and ask people to participate. But as I mentioned, the Insurance Exchange, we'll do presentations, we'll do Zooms, we'll come to your block club, we come to your red hat meeting, wherever y'all play bridge, step set. Let's get it done. Give us an invitation. And why not be wealthy in itself to make sure that your loved one is protected? That's the best gift in itself. So ladies, we have had a great time today. Each of you give us your closing statement for our broadcast today.
I would just like to say, I would like for the listening audience to understand, when it comes to insurance, that it's about protecting your assets, and to learn more about that, and to, want more information on how this can work for you, to not think about insurance as for just the reason to pay for someone dying, but call in to get more information so you can learn how these benefits can be used for the living. It's very important.
And I would like to close out by saying, you really need to get some insurance. That's all I could really say, is that it's very important, just for generational wealth, just to make sure that our kids are protected. GoFundMe's are not insurance policies. They're not working. They help out a little bit, but sometimes the money doesn't even end up in the right hands.
Right.
You also have to consider, you go to the church can only do so many, so you can't rely on just the church. There are other means, but like Social Security, they only give you so much money. It's never enough to have a full homegoing that will be presentable for your loved one. So you want to make sure that you have something in place if and when something should happen. I can't iterate more than just to have it. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That's Proverbs 13:22. And I just want to say that give us a call here at the Insurance Exchange. We're the Insurance Exchange, the place for all your insurance needs. I'm Kelly Crosby. My phone number is 708-597-8731, extension 102.
And I'm Carolyn Barnes, and I'm on extension 137.
And I am Clara Hubbard. I am on Senior Talk Media. You can click on our website. At the bottom of our site, click the Insurance Exchange logo to get more information on securing all of your insurance needs. A lot of you have events coming up. The DJ need insurance. Make sure the vehicle or your event is insured. Let's be clear.
Special event, yep. That event. We do that. Businesses, yeah.
Let's make sure. And you know what? Sometimes, I think years ago we used to have something called check your stuff. So if you need to have your stuff reviewed,
we
can
got
enough to work with. Yeah. Let's be very clear, so we can do all of that. I'm so excited. Look, and for those who I do this because I've been a part of the Insurance Exchange family literally since 2011 when I started. So we're 14 years in this thing.
I remember,
and we have many more to go. So everyone, thank you for making us a part of your day. I'm Clara Hubbard, your host and granddaughter in the community. Our special co-host today was Carolyn Barnes and Kelly Crosby, multi-level insurance experts at the Insurance Exchange. For more information, call them at 708-597-8731. We'll see you next time for Senior Talk with Clara Hubbard. Everyone, take care.
Thank you.